Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. Let me hide this because somebody keeps telling me that I forget to hide that and it's bugging them. So I did it. Okay. Uh, there are some good stories that are coming out of Asia. So let's take a jump across the lake on the lily pads. If I go too fast, please leave me a comment in the comment section. I'll be sure to address it. So this headline pretty much says it all. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse, we're not partnering with Swift, we're taking them over. So he is in Singapore, and there was a Bloomberg interview. This interview, wow, it was something. I haven't actually heard him speak this confident in a very long time. He goes to talk about how the ASEAN region is really leading in terms of Ripple's customers. It represents 50% of their customer base, especially with the Bank of Thailand. They have, created this hub after they did a test with SBI in Japan. They found wow, this is incredible. It's efficient, it's fast, and it reduces the cost so much for moving funds through banks in their global remittances that they have decided they are going to be the hub for Southeast Asia. So this is, in addition, he talks about, he just has some really amazing things to say. Last year, there were 30,000 people at this event. This year, there's 40,000. The institutional investors just keep coming to want to buy more. He believes that the areas of the ASEAN group, because of the Philippines, Thailand, Japan, and Singapore, they have really moved forward quickly for clarification of the regulatory framework. And he believes that has really been one of the leading factors as to the quick adoption. So the interesting thing is he says Swift is owned by the banks and we are here to help. Their Swift technology has really not evolved, and they are losing customers basically to Ripple. So he says, on a day-to-day basis, in fact, we are taking over Swift. So that's a pretty bold statement. And if you can find this interview on Bloomberg. Oh, he also talked about a real use case. There was a remittance company that moved their pricing from a $20 fee to a $2 fee and found an 800% increase in business overnight. That's pretty incredible. Okay, moving along. This is my favorite site, Coin Tokyo. It gives me a sense of what's happening in terms of headlines across Asia. So let's take a quick skip over this. This is, of course, about the Ripple 4.0. It is a really big improvement in terms of providing the customers a very easy switch to using the XRP token for liquidity. So interoperability is the key word. That's when you have two products or two different programs that don't necessarily have a relationship, but yet can work together. This multi-hop allows the banks to use whatever makes the best choice for cost savings. So it's a really superb improvement. And those people who say that the XRP token is not being used, you're not paying attention. Okay, Coincheck. It is the site that in January had the huge $500 million hack. Most of it was NEM, BTC, and BCH. Monex came in, took the site over. It's taken almost 10 months for them to get back operational again, but they are operational. And I'm very, very happy because there were many people I knew that were negatively affected by that big problem. So at the end of the day, though, it has a happy story. This is a little concerning. So the hash rate with BTC is very much down, like 13%. And it's kind of not clear as to why. Now, it could be because some of the miners have gone offline. There was some flooding, or it could be because of the up and coming hard fork with BCH. So this hard fork is turning out to be a battle really among the miners. So in order for it to determine which coin is going to be supported, it has to be first determined by the miners. Right now, Bitcoin SV, which is led by Craig Wright, who says he is Satoshi Nakamoto, he is leading right now in terms of miner support with 66%. And then Roger Ver, who has Bitcoin Cash, which is called the Bitcoin ABC, is powered by Bitmain, but they look like they have less support right now. So at the end of the day, I don't know, these divisions sometimes can make both projects weaker. We just don't know how it's going to finalize, but we need to just keep watching. This is a pricing story on Bitcoin, and this is about Koban. Koban is a coin that was developed here in Japan. It's on a platform that companies bring videos that have been made and designed to be watched. And then if you watch it, you are paid back in Koban. And then you can exchange your Koban for BTC if you like. But the seems to be taking some big steps forward because it announced that it had its, what was it? Its 10 billion yen milestone. That's yen. So don't get confused with US dollars. They are getting they're getting traction. And I think they possibly are going to keep growing. All right, this is about a hardware wallet, Kinko. They partnered up with Longhash, and Longhash is going to provide their technology, if you will. I want to just go back to this Koban really quick. I forgot to say that they had won the IBM Blue Hubbard Award back in 2016. And also Last Roots, which is the company behind it, received an investment as well from SBI Holdings. So that's just something that you want to know. All right. This is a Japanese startup. They originally opened up the hardware wallet for Ethereum. I think they're branching out and going to accept other coins. They got their original seed funding from Global Brain, 1.4 million. It looks like they are growing too. This is about JVCEA. This is Japan Virtual Currency Exchange Association. This is the association that was just recently recognized as an official association by the FSA, which is the Financial Service Agency. They are the watchdog and very much like the SEC of the United States. So they have been recognized as official, and they just gave a warning, and the warning is to make sure everybody proceeds with caution with moving any of your BCH with the up and coming fork. And then down here we have a story about Tron. They were just listed on Blockport, which is in the Netherlands, and it's been paired to the euro. This is a story coming out of Singapore, and it's interesting. So the Singapore Central Bank and Stock Exchange have actually developed an automated method for settling a token with the use of a smart contract. So they have digitized the Singaporean dollar and created this platform to settle transactions. It's really something. And it's not surprising it got announced with the event going on in Singapore. I think we're going to see lots and lots of announcements because of the Singapore summit. Okay, this is about, and I should tell you that the technology behind that platform in Singapore was developed by Deloitte and NASDAQ. Okay, this one is Taiwan. Taiwan with Far Eastern Air has created Taiwan's first real-life application of blockchain technology for its economy. They basically have created a stable coin, and it can be used to book all of your flights and travel arrangements with Far Eastern Air. And all the KYC is done in advance. So it just speeds up the process of actually making your travel arrangements. This is Brad Garlinghouse statements that he made when he had his discussion with the IMF in Singapore, and he talks about how the ASEAN region is so important and again makes up more than 50% of their current customers. This is about the Bloomberg interview, about the statement Mr. Garlinghouse made that Ripple is taking over SWIFT. And this is an interesting one. I didn't know about this. This is talking about a blog by a gentleman who is Nick Carter on Medium. So I am going to put a link to his blog because it's very, very good. And all of the reads are 6, 7, 8, 9, up to 11 minutes long. The one thing I like not only is his clear writing, but I really like the use of a lot of graphics and charts. So when you see stats and figures, it's really good to have complementary charts. I'm a very visual person, so I like his blog a lot. This is Bitcoin Cash. They have just gone to the moon in terms of margin trading on Bitfinex. So anytime you see a lot of price volatility up or down, people jump in to do margin trading because a lot of money can be made. This is an article about the young entrepreneurs in Taiwan really want to be the blockchain capital of Asia. And I think I have a picture here for you. You can see this is a cafe that is accepting cryptocurrency for payment. They have Bitcoin, they have Ethereum, you have Ripple. I know. Don't worry about it. That adoption of XRP has not really taken full hold here in Asia. Many times people are still referring to it as Ripple. And you can pay by Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, or BCZ, which I think is Bitcoin Zero. Every nation has kind of their favorite coin. In Japan, for cafes, you very often see Monacoin. It's used for payment and for tipping. So I have a feeling that BCZ is popular in Taiwan. Okay, if we continue, this is a story, again, another story about the multi-hop technology with Ripple. This is Zilliqa and Layer X. They are in Singapore. They announced a partnership. Zilliqa was developed in Japan. The company is located in Singapore. It's a smart contracts company, and I guess Layer X is going to provide the technology for Zilliqa. And I think they are just, everybody's just making their steps forward in this space. Okay, this is NEM. This is a great story because the Coincheck is now fully operational. They have seen a nearly 10-time increase in trading. So I'm very happy to see the NEM holders are back active again in Japan. NEM is very popular in Japan. And then NEM also has their elections on December 7th it is, so they can kind of carve out their road map going forward. This is a TNA article for Ethereum. This is more technical analysis for BTC. And this is Bitmart. Bitmart is an exchange that's in Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, and English. They have a special airdrop and promotion happening in Japan. If you're not aware of this exchange, they are growing fast. They're very aggressive. They have amazing campaigns. They have what they say is one of the cheapest places to trade. So they have a 0 fee deposit and a 0.05% trading fee. They have no KYC. They are registered in the Cayman Islands. So I think that no KYC is attractive for a lot of people. It's a place you can also trade futures, and they promote their OTC. Tezos is carving out online education with Kingsland University. They have also done a deal with Cornell, but they are really focusing on the education sector for bringing their blockchain technology. They're decentralized, so I think a lot of students will probably be building apps on this Tezos. They just went onto their own mainnet, and yeah, another project that seems to be moving forward. Okay, so let's just take a look at an additional big news out of Japan. So this is Elizabeth Rossello. She founded the company called Bitpesa. If you remember, SBI Holdings did a deal with her just a couple of months ago with the SBI Remit, because in Africa, where she is, Japanese used cars are very, very popular. And to provide the service for payment of bringing those used cars, they buy them online and then deliver them. It's like a purchase to container to doorstep delivery service. The SBI Remit, it allows these African countries to buy the used cars, and that is just been, I think, a great thing for the people of Africa. So she has a remittance company, and she specializes in Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, Senegal, Morocco, Tanzania, Uganda, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. So many of these people living in those African countries, they have members of their family that go and work in places like China or the United Arab Emirates. And so there is a lot of global remittance happening. And since 2013, she has provided this service for this sector of people who I think a lot of people just ignored for a very long period of time. Well, we have today the Japanese Sompo Holdings has given them $5 million for a 10% stake. And this obviously is a part of the world that's growing very fast. So just like SBI saw the opportunity to service them for the used cars, Sompo Holdings sees also a great opportunity here. So she provides what she says is a service that is 90% cheaper than what most of the options are. And she just charges 1 to 3% and can deliver that money in 1 to 24 hours. So good on you, Elizabeth. All right. As you know, I keep following this. SWIFT kicks out Iran, and the country responds with a state-issued cryptocurrency. So I knew something was going to come out of these sanctions, and it looks like, according to this Iranian paper, online news media, that the national cryptocurrency is going to be granted to commercial banks. So they are actually going to, at the request of the Iranian Central Bank, Informatics Services Corporation is creating a new technology and expanding those services by issuing a token that is going to be paired to their real. So it will allow them some liquidity, because with this sanction, it has totally blocked the banks, and therefore they have just no liquidity with international remittances. And this is definitely the step they are going to take. So I just keep watching this, because I don't know what kind of domino effect it will have. So I will keep all of us up to date on that. Okay, I'm going into the fluff. let's go with Iran still. Let me introduce to you Sahel Rosa. She is one of the loved, famous TV personalities in Japan. And she has a very amazing story. At the age of 4 years old, she was an orphan because of the Iraqi air raid. She lost all of her 10 siblings, but was found in the rubble of her home by a nurse. And that nurse lost contact with her as she was put into an orphanage. And later, the orphanage used her as a poster child to promote other Iranian families to adopt these children that were in the orphanages. So the nurse kind of reconnected with her and then eventually adopted her. I think she was adopted at about the age of, I'm not sure, 6, I think, around there. So that adoption was not well received by her family. So she felt that she needed to leave Iran. She then moved to Japan and actually was homeless for a little bit of time, but her mom found a Japanese husband. And since then, she has become an absolute superstar on TV. She is one of the most popular TV personalities for variety shows in particular. And she's very smart and very nice, and I just love her. So there is your Iranian darling in Japan. She's beautiful, isn't she? All right, everybody, that's all I have for you today. Please take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.